let's go back further. Where did you grow up? Because that's quite an extraordinary story.
So I grew up in the Pilbara region of Western Australia on a cattle station property,
Yeah.
and
Was your father the owner, or did he just work there?
he was a station manager.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was, mum and dad got there in the 80s because BHP were opening up mining lease, and part of the contract is to have a functioning station for it to be mined, like a pastoral lease.
Oh, okay.
On Crown
Yeah.
land. And my father's from a background of like station owners. He's from the coast at another station, Yarraloola near Karratha originally.
Yeah.
So the Patterson side of the family has had a lot to do with cattle stations and that
Well,
type of thing.
look, for most Australians, we're in suburbia. They got dropped off at school. They came back. How would you describe life growing up on a cattle station to show how different it is from growing up in, say, the suburbs of Sydney or Melbourne?
So yeah, being you first of all, obviously, just the isolation part.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we're on a 900,000 acre property, so
That's big, probably bigger than Malaysia or something.
yeah,
like that.
it's fairly big, and that's not even one of the biggest properties.
Yeah.
But doing in those days, the school was by radio.
All right, so you were one of the radio kids.
Yeah, before
Wow.
Skype and
Yeah,
Zoom
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So
And we're doing things like, I met a lot of kids that grew up on farms learning to drive cars early because you're driving.
yeah,
You were all into that?
yeah, all learning how to drive stick.
Yeah. And at what age were you when you're doing this?
This was, from 7, 8, 9.
So it's
learning.
7 and 8, while some of us are going to footy training or something like that. You're learning how to drive all manner of vehicles.
That's right. And Dad was really big on, and Mum as well, like learning how to ride horses.
Yeah, wow.
Operate off horses and that type of thing. So,
yeah, and surviving out there if you got lost, I guess.
Yeah, well, that was another thing is you just grow your intuition grows for sense of direction and things like that. Just taking notice of landmarks, because when I was younger, I remember being in a mustering buggy where the passenger seat was torn out, and
torn out how?
Well, the buggies are stripped down.
Yeah, I've seen the buggies.
Yeah. The passenger seat's not there, so it's just like
I wasn't actually there, so it's just the driver's seat for you.
Yeah, that's right. So, my dad would just be driving, and I'll just be sitting on a toolbox with a rag and like just coughing it, and he's kind of like, just jump out and get through the scrub there and get the cattle out, push the cattle out, and come back around. And
you would have had scrub bulls there?
Yeah, there were scrubbers, yeah.
Yeah, now for the people that don't know, because when I interviewed Luke in Mount Isa, we align scrubbers to people who the government doesn't like. These are bulls that are independent.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's sort of what they're after. So tell people who've never heard, what's a scrubber bull?
A scrub bull or a scrubber. A scrub bull is basically a mongrel bull that has escaped many musters and has just undesirable genetics, I suppose. So there are actually whole contracting teams that just go in to get the scrub bulls or scrub cattle and take them out of the desired herds.
So what they actually like, what Luke told me, is that one of their problems is that they're free. Like they're the biggest thing around, very confident.
Yeah.
And if they breed with the cattle, they breed very confident, feisty cows. And the station owner wants nice, compliant cows. So it's sort of like a metaphor for society at the moment.
Yeah, it is. That's right. I suppose like they become so much more wild and less domesticated.
Yeah. And they don't enjoy the idea of going to an abattoir or being tied up.
Yeah, they don't. so it's quite fitting, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were scrubbers.
So you actually grew up, even though you're with your family, you grew up quite fiercely independent then. You could actually look after yourself from an early age. Driving cars, working on this, work for yourself in a way. I mean, if your dad sent you out to do something, surely you'd be capable of doing it yourself without having constant supervision.
Yeah, yeah, there was, and there was a big sense of having to be autonomous sometimes, like think for yourself with certain
Yeah.
things. It wasn't always just sent out and like, good luck with everything, but it was, we're going to send you in the car to go check on some nearby windmills or something like
Mm.
that, wash out the troughs and get things, just report back on anything that needs to be reported back on.
And how old were you then? Like, what ages would you be when that was happening?
Probably like more around 9, 10,
So
11,
9 and 10,
12.
you're heading out in
Like,
your own vehicle
yeah,
to,
more so probably 10, I would say, 10, 11, 12,
wow.
nothing too crazy, but just like the
I,
nearby
I
ones.
think to most Australians it would be like highly crazy, but in actual
Yeah.
fact, it's really healthy. So what I'm saying is, you had a confidence and independence, and you had to be a good thinker, a critical thinker, because you're out there by yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like that, and I've been pretty blessed. Like mum and dad were just really, really did a good job. I have two younger brothers, and with us three boys, and yeah, you had to work, but also learn reality, and
yeah.
yeah,
And so you end up, you became a sparky,
mm,
and so that was the trade you did.
yeah. Um, my dad recommended like get a trade, and same with mum. So I was in Port Hedland for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is mining town on the
yeah,
coast, which is basically the economic port of Australia.
yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
incredible port.
yeah, it's huge,
Yeah.
and that was a bit of that town's quite rough and tumble town. Not much goes on, but a lot can go on as well. And a lot of people were always, oh yeah, this place is rough, like it's nothing going on, it's a shithole, rah, rah, rah. But the people you meet there are just really, really salt of the earth people.
Yeah.
And I still have a lot of good friends from there.
So you did your apprenticeship in Port Hedland.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you moved to working in gyms and being a was the term used?
It was like strength and conditioning coach came a lot later. So I worked in the mining industry, but I
Okay.
always had a desire to go and do personal training and strength and conditioning.
What was the desire behind that? You would just fit yourself, or what?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was just obsessed with um, just physical development. And I would be on the station, I was obsessed with the army. There would be on our airstrip at the station, the ADF would fly out planes for dropping out their personnel to go do,
Oh yeah,
yeah, practice,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, type of scenarios and that. And I remember them flying out, and I was just like, man, this is so cool,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I would always be on the front lawn, running back and forth, doing all these drills, and then we got a pool at the station, and I would make myself do all these types of laps and things like that.
Yeah.
So I was interested. I just love the fact that you could do something in the real world and then get like something out of it straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think having that interest throughout my youth sort of geared me into wanting to pursue it when I was older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a focus. You know what you want to do. You're driven to do it, and then COVID comes along, and you were in Brazil.
Yeah,
Tell us
yeah.
about that and how you got back here as on the last flight.
Yeah, well, that was wild. So, um, throughout my 20s, like late 20s and early 30s, I'd done a lot of travel. I was working in the mining industry and getting those big breaks. I could just go overseas and that type of thing. And I ended up spending time in Chile. And one of my really close friends, he is Chilean, and his wife now is Brazilian. So yeah, he arranged like the wedding in Brazil, and my girlfriend, she was Argentinian. My girlfriend at the time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we went over to Brazil, and this was sort of early 2020, March 2020, and you hear about this Chinese
Yeah, yeah.
thing going on with the virus and that, and we get over there, and my girlfriend, she used to live in Rio de Janeiro, so we were actually in Rio de Janeiro, And nothing really kind of clicked to us where we're thinking we're taking this seriously, because I've done enough travel to go, headlines are usually bull dust. There's
Yeah.
not really much. It's just a scare tactic.
Yeah.
And we went up to this one favela. For those who don't know, a favela is like a low socioeconomic area in Brazil, a neighborhood. And in this favela, they've opened it up to the public and tourists to bring money in to the little local businesses. So you can go up and visit. And because my ex had lived there, she wanted to take me up and, go have a beer and look at the view. And I wasn't really taking any of this Chinese virus stuff serious. I didn't know much about it. And then we get up there, and a bull dust you not, there was just we get off this escalating tram. There's a gang standing there with automatic rifles within probably 5 meters of us. And we're like, this is really bad. And we're going, are we getting mugged? Like, is this one of these scenarios?
Yeah.
My gut was telling me before, just don't go up. It's no
Yeah.
point. And I'm like, no, I'm probably just getting anxious. Got up there. This is the scenario. And a guy comes over and he approaches and he's like, look, we usually let people in, but we're worried about this virus in China and we're hearing people are getting affected here. And, we don't want any trouble. If you just go back down, that's going to be okay. And we're like, absolutely, let's leave.
Yeah.
So we went back down, and that's when it sort of started going in my mind, like, okay, this might be a lot more serious than what I'm sort of looking into it with. The scenario more so. I'm not too sure about this virus, right? So time goes on, we're still in Brazil. We end up having the wedding, and then there's an arrangement on this island off the coast of Brazil called Ilha Grande, and it's the after party kind of thing. So we have this whole big villa there, everyone's there, and then it's like you hear about, boom, this place getting locked down. Like, lockdown? Like, boom, this place getting locked down. Like, you were looking online, and then it's going, okay, shit, like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Boom.
You're on the other side of the world.
Yeah, Ilha Grande is locked down.
Yeah.
So we're like, how do we even get off this island?
Yeah.
And we managed to pay off someone to get a boat to the mainland with the wedding party. Got there, and the transport we arranged, they had to go and change their cars and number plates because that state was different to the state to go back to Rio de Janeiro. So we're in this convoy, and we're getting through, and it's all these military checkpoints at that point. And we're like, oh,
holy crap.
Yeah, this is actually a lot more serious.
Yeah.
Get back to Rio. There's a lot of it's just everything's really, really quiet. There's a lot of tension. The people from America at the wedding party end up giving us their Airbnb on Copacabana Beach. So we're on this beautiful beach, and there's just military choppers.
Wow.
Up and down. And the Chileans end up going back to Chile the following day, and it's just my girlfriend and I at this property going, how are we going to get out of here?
Yeah.
So for the next sort of 5 days, we're going, let's go to the airport, see what's there. Let's try and ring the company, see what's there. And the whole time we're going, if we get out, we can go back to Argentina. There's a possibility, but then I'm not allowed in, but we could probably go through another border crossing. So we're trying to weigh things up. We know the last planes leaving to get out to Perth are in Sao Paulo. So
how far away was that?
Sao Paulo is like probably an hour and a half flight or something south.
Wow, so you were quite far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you couldn't drive there.
No, we couldn't. And we end up going, the company keeps going, yeah, come back tomorrow, or come back tonight, or and then we're like, screw it, let's just get these tickets and let's just get down there. And we end up getting down there, and then we basically are going, look, this is Argentinian, I'm Australian. They're like, you can go, she can't. And then we go online and find some other documents to fill out, and literally it's like a movie. Get $8,000 later on the skin of our teeth, just get through and get the last plane out.
$8,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
and yeah,
What was this? So the plane flew directly to Perth?
well, it went to I think it was Abu Dhabi and then to Perth.
And was it full? Like, was it jam packed or?
It wasn't as jam packed as what I thought, because a lot more people were I think people were so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just going, let's just get back.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting back, and then we're getting told, oh, look, COVID seems to be affecting the at-risk populations and the elderly.
Yeah.
We're going to get you to do quarantine in your apartment.
Yeah.
Yep. That was before having to pay for the, rooms and stuff like that. So we end up getting back, and I'm like, I think I got like a sore throat. Like, oh, I think I can't smell anything. Oh, I think I can't taste anything. And she's like, yeah, I'm the same. So we ring her doctor friends back in Argentina, and they go, yeah, by all accounts, but it looks like you have COVID. So I'm going, all right, they're giving us a COVID hotline number, like a helpline number. We'll ring them and see what we have to do or if there's anything to do. So I'm ringing the guy, and he goes, yeah, we're not too sure. You don't seem like you're doing too bad, and we actually don't really know too much about it, but you're not at risk. And I said to him, like, I thought this was the helpline. Like,
yeah.
We're
shutting down the whole world.
Yeah.
And you were making like, it's not so bad.
Yeah, that's right. Like, what are we meant to be doing here? So, yeah, we just waited it out. And
how sick did you get?
Well, I thought it was, first of all, a hangover, because I thought I'm so glad to be back. And I got some nice duty-free alcohol, and we celebrated a bit. And I thought it was jet lag. But when it was the no sense of taste, smell, and I did have some like stomach upset and diarrhea, but that seemed to pass. And my first initial thought was it was more of like a travel bug.
Yeah. Or even jet lag.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, maybe like plane food or something.
Yeah.
I wasn't in this really concerned frame of mind with.
So it didn't really affect you, didn't like put you in hospital or anything like that?
No, absolutely not.
So you're one of the first Australians really to have it.
Yeah.
And you sort of glide through it.
Yeah. I remember it was like, 72 hours or something.
Yeah.
Just dealing with it, and a bit foggy fatigue. But
now you would think in the past, if you'd had it and survived it, that you'd have antibodies, your natural immunity. There'd be no requirement to take the jab. But
correct.
For your jobs, this is what they were telling you had to take it.
That's right, yeah. And obviously with the narratives that antibodies only last 8 weeks, but the studies that do that, they're only conducted for 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Like,
that's right.
Yeah. And the antibodies wane. I had mine. Yeah, I had. Yeah. Oh well, I had mine tested, and 2 years later, and there was positive for antibodies. And Western Australia didn't have COVID. We hadn't opened the borders yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, how do you get it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I didn't want to take any of the mRNA jabs because there was people getting sick. When I was doing an internship for a strength and conditioning at a gym, there were people there that weren't doing well, like girls losing periods, people getting pericarditis.
Yeah.
Some people, yeah. So I was very, very hesitant, and just the way things were all set up, just the way that doing the, getting COVID, recovering, then getting told if you're questioning it, like, it all was very suspicious. You don't need to be like any psychoanalyst to work out that something was getting. There was one narrative. It was this one way.
It smelt.
Yeah.
A bit dodgy.
Exactly.
So why did you take it in the end? If you were so hesitant about it, what was the reason you took it?
So the job that I got, like in the sort of between 2020 and like 2022 when I took it, like in 2021, my like then girlfriend, she actually suffered a stroke.
Wow.
Yeah, it was misdiagnosed by the doctors. And what was crazy, like she was very lucky that she survived because she was driving at the time and pulled over,
Wow.
managed to get to hospital, but didn't have the telltale signs of a stroke and got dismissed and said it was a migraine. Ended up being a stroke. Could have got administered medication to dissolve the stroke because it was a very small one.
Yeah.
But in the end, that didn't happen. And she was getting, she had all this time off work and she was getting back to work. I had my little sort of business at the local gym where I train at, and that was starting to get some clientele. And then where I was working in my trade still, they were saying, look, you're on casual. We really like your work. We're actually going to save your position. We know where you stand on the vax. And my manager said, I stand with you. Like, I fully agree with you on this. When the Novavax becomes available, we'll hold your position and you can come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt this pressure from all angles because I wasn't going to let my girlfriend just go and earn the money and then me sit at home and wait around.
Goes against your nature.
Yeah, well, that's it, you know. And
so you waited for the Novavax. What was about the Novavax?
Well, the Novavax had a different manufacturing process. It was advertised it wasn't an mRNA process or like the Moderna and Pfizer. And the AstraZeneca obviously was more for the elderly populations, and the Novavax was more of the traditional vaccine.
Yeah.
But it's the same devil with different horns.
Yeah. So which one affected you? Take one or two?
I just took one.
And one affected you?
Yeah, one affected me.
And how quick did it affect you, and what were the symptoms?
That day that I took it, and I still remember, it was like the 24th of February 2022. It was a Thursday, and I took it, and I just was, within half an hour, I'm like, oh, I feel doughy and fluey, okay. And then that night, like, didn't sleep well. But then over, the next couple of days, just cold sweats, like insanely cold sweats. Then the tight chest pain. Then
did you go to hospital? Did you think you were having a heart attack?
Yeah, I went to hospital.
What did they say?
They said, oh, it's nothing to worry about, rah-de-rah. But
did you buy that? I mean, you got heart issues.
Yeah, well, I was just like, you're getting told that, this is this is what can happen, but it will go down. But it might not, be fully attributed to this, So it's this very ambiguous sort of explanation. And, as time went on from February, March, I'm going to one doctor and getting told like one thing, more ambiguity, and then another thing. And then the insomnia, like I can't sleep.
Wow.
There's no way I can sleep. The small fiber neuropathy, which is burning, starts going down my legs, across my abdomen, and then up through my scalp.
Well, you feel like you're on fire?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it felt like someone was peeling back my skin with a potato peeler.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. And the tinnitus, the snowed-in, narrowed vision, the, disorientation of my balance. I ended up not, I didn't go back to my job. I'm not going to take another vax.
Yeah.
I ended up getting placement through a recruiting agency through these government contracts, government sites, because it wasn't mandated on these government sites. And one of the sites was right next door to where I used to work, literally boarded on the fence.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. And at that, it was basically a refuge for all the dissidents who didn't get the vax, and these were all friends of mine from previous job sites. So it was good. I felt like the biggest sheep, like the vax injured guy amongst the non-vax, but all of them took care of me.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just walking up to the crib room one day, and I just like, had these symptoms that was consistent with a heart attack, like left shoulder pain, stabbing pain, and then just felt this sharp pain in my chest. And I was up for months at this point. This was May, so not a slither of sleep.
So this is, you're up to several months now of really in a lot of pain and just feeling completely crap.
Yeah, 100%.
And being told by all the doctors, you're fine.
Yeah.
Go away.
And my girlfriend, she's not believing me.
Oh.
Because she, her neurologist told her it's okay to take the vax, like even if you have had a stroke and like that, So she's going, nah, this is all getting made up, like rah.
Well, she thought you were faking it for 4 months.
Yeah. And then
what would be the motivation to do
Yeah, I didn't see a motivation. Like I'm not at all benefiting.
You're like this great actor who's staying in character for a film that no one wants to see.
100%. Yeah, I'm practicing for the movies. Right?
But
yeah.
Were you angry with yourself?
I was infuriated.
With yourself?
I was infuriated with myself. Yeah. I was infuriated that, I managed to get around all this job placement, like just doing 4 weeks here or like a couple of weeks there, and then had this. And I'm like, I should have just dropped everything. Yeah. Going, look, this isn't for me. I know it's not for me. I knew that from the start.
Yeah.
I didn't want to let my girlfriend down. I didn't want to let my clients down. I didn't want to let my work down. Yeah. But in the end, I let myself down. Yeah.
Wow. Were you angry with the government or the whole system as well?
Yeah, I was angry. Like you start going in when you've been up for so long, you're everything. It doesn't matter. Like people just want to keep their opinions.
Yes.
And it's like, as soon as you say, I'm really affected by this, and they don't believe you, because it buckles them. Yeah. It starts cracking their paradigm. Yeah. You start having, you just become so infuriated with the whole thing. Yeah. And, dark fantasies start happening where you're like, you start splitting your own identity a bit because you got all the, on one side even, like, you got all these do-gooders who are, I took it, and like, I'm morally pure. I took it, Yeah. Then on the other side, you got, these pure bloods, and it almost becomes, I'm not the sheep, I'm so you're kind of fractured in the middle. Yeah. Where you're getting this whole, your identity kind of starts fracturing, and
you don't exactly belong in either camp.
Yeah.
Because you haven't taken the two.
Yeah.
You're not a true believer.
You're vax injured,
yeah,
and
but
you
the
haven't
other
got
guys
the
who
PDF.
betrayed us. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be quite isolating and lonely in that.
It was a little bit in that. Yeah, I know. But what's crazy is, still the unvaxxed people are the kindness, where they just went, hey, we'll take it. We just want people to be okay. And
yeah.
I was so fortunate that I met those friends of mine and met other friends who were taking care of me and letting me rest during the job.
Wow.
And I would be in a storeroom just like looking at the ceiling, just like...
So there's real mateship there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And when I collapsed at work and my mate took me to the...
Tell us about the collapse.
Was with the heart, what was the sort of symptoms of
that big heart attack you had.
And I'm like, just sort of gathering myself like down a bit, and I'm going to my mate, Damo, I need to go see a like medic or something.
Yeah.
I'm not well. And then I get to the medic's office, and the nurse, and she's going, oh, what's happened? Are you vaccinated? And I said, well, this is a government contract, even though it's on this site. I have been vaccinated, and I am vax injured. She goes, oh, you've been listening to conspiracy theories. And like, I got this heart thing. And I said, yeah, this isn't no good. Like, a lot of young men are getting like a lot of heart conditions. She goes, yeah, I know. my son's got pericarditis. I'm like, okay, so in
I'm
one,
sorry. Her son's got pericarditis, and then she still says you're listening to
yeah,
conspiracy theories.
exactly. And like in one breath, you're saying like, this is
That's
all bullshit.
extraordinary. That's an extraordinary statement.
100%.
We actually, I was in Cooper Pedy interviewing
Right.
people there, and young woman came from a mining camp, and she said a nurse had turned up to vaccinate everyone, and she said to the nurse, "Do you know anyone who's vaccinated?" And the nurse said, "Yeah, my son. He's going to be on this EpiPen for the rest of his life." And she goes, "Then why are you here vaccinating us?" She goes, "Well, the government wants us to do it, and if we can't trust the government, who can we trust?" That's what she said. And the two things sort of, so this same sort of story, there's like two conflicting beliefs
Yeah.
in the same head,
Yeah.
in the same
100%.
sentence.
It's contradictions to the nth degree.
Yeah, I know. It just does not make sense.
Correct. And, after that, she goes, "I will put you in and monitor you. You're all up on the ECG and that." I'm like, okay, so I'm there. And then another nurse comes in to sort of just take some notes and that type of thing. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, I heard you're the conspiracy theorist." And I was like, "Oh, you're so painful." So it's insult to injury.
Yeah.
I get discharged, and at this stage, I'm like, I just don't know what to do. I'm in tears. I'm driving
I just have to say,
yeah.
so the only thing you got from the hospital,
Well, this wasn't the hospital. This was the site medic.
so the only, from the health professionals, the only what is it, diagnosis you get is you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, medical gaslighting.
Yeah.
Really.
So you're faking, this young man is faking these heart issues just to bolster up the conspiracy. It's true.
Yeah,
I've got it.
Even though I'm on casual, I don't get any sort of, there's no sort of any financial incentive for this to be.
You're just making this melodramatic point. Yeah.
And that's exactly it. That's how it was treated. And I ended up getting in my car and I'm going, I got to get to hospital to try and, get through and see what the go is. And I'm driving there, get in there, heart thing. I'm like, oh, okay, come straight through.
Yeah.
So I get into a bed straight away because I'm holding my heart. And then the doctor's going, "Oh, you got anxiety, all the stuff you would have heard before."
Yeah.
This lovely nurse, like an absolute saint, comes in and goes, "Listen, I know that you're not bull dusting. I know."
Oh.
Yeah. And she said there's a lot of young people that are coming in right now that are experiencing these.
So she's risking her job saying that, when the doctor's keeping his job and saying you just got anxiety.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, get discharged with anxiety, and end up like later on.
Let's be honest. I mean, we're in a generation now where anxiety is seen like everybody has it. So why isn't everybody dead just from anxiety? Anxiety causes heart attacks.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the most common thing. You have young people come up now and say, "I've got anxiety." Why aren't you dead?
Yeah. 100%.
Since
it was just so wild. It's like a movie, and then
so they're treating you like a liar. Apart from that nurse, they're treating you like a liar.
Yeah.
And this is the hospital supposed to cure you.
Yeah.
Or at least acknowledge your suffering.
Yeah, or at least try and direct me to whether it's like cardiology or some, rheumatology, something.
Yeah. What was it like when the nurse said this to you? That must have been like a teary event to finally be acknowledged by someone in there.
It was this mixed feeling. First of all, I'm like, not all hope is lost. Like, yeah. And then second thing was, all your worst nightmares have come true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting acknowledged because you start questioning yourself a lot. You start questioning, am I just like, is this all just brought on by,
manifesting your own suffering?
Yeah.
So in the end, they left you with anxiety. So you
discharged with
anxiety. They give you any medication for that, or just told you to harden up?
It was basically, look, we recommend, like a recommendation to go to the, your GP. And probably pursue some sort of avenue.
Yeah.
Like that.
So by then, what did you decide to do? You've got this thing, the medical establishment isn't that interested. You're clearly suffering from it. What did you decide to do?
At that point, my mum's going, she was in Broome at the time, and she's going, you're not well, and I'm going into bouts of psychosis at this point, because I'm thinking like things are happening, like if something's happening inside of me, no one's believing me, I don't know what to do, I've been up for months on end. Mum goes, look, let's just get you to Broome and you can just rest for a week. And then I get up there and she's like, oh, I know what you're talking about. Like, you're fractured. And that night before Broome, my girlfriend and I just ended up breaking up.
Oh my
It
Lord.
was like just everything, and you're just crushed. You can't sleep. You can't have a rest from yourself.
Just because you needed to be kicked since you're down.
Yeah,
just another boot in.
Yeah, 100%. And in that time as well, I get it. I'm trying to operate and manage myself, and I don't have time for anything outside of myself because I'm completely getting crushed. I got all these symptoms. It feels like people are peeling my skin. The tinnitus, the brain fog, the short-term memory loss, the working memory loss, like.
And so that was real. You'd actually have short-term memory loss.
Yeah, I really suffered. I was leaving pans on without realizing I put it on, and things like that on the stovetop. These types of things were happening. People,
and this is one jab.
Yeah. And I get to Broome and I finally just be able to like just rest a bit because I'm out of the city. And we're north of Broome as well, just by 10K. So I was out of a township, and I just finally like, oh, thank gosh, like I like kind of feel some sense of relief. And yeah, it was just real hard.
What was one of the hardest things? Is that just the lack of acknowledgement? You're basically on your own in a country where we're supposed to be mates, looking after each other.
Yeah, it was. It was, it was just like real. Because I'm just going, man, like I can't, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't function. And
did you contemplate leaving us? Can I ask?
Yeah, it was like a lot of times. There was just like a lot of times, man, where I found this rope on the road from one of the Pearl boats. And I remember storing it underneath like the seat of the car, and I'm contemplating not if, like when, and how can I do it most.
See, you'd actually got past the question of doing it. Now you were into.
I'm considering doing it, and you got people that just don't believe you. You got people who you think were your mates. You got people that don't want to talk to you because they're super worried of how they'll look,
So if they acknowledge you, they might be seen as anti-vaxxers themselves.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And
so to keep themselves safe, they got to ostracize you.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. And when you have these kind of chronic fatigue like symptoms where you're gone from someone that's really physically capable to now being someone that can barely get out of bed, and when you do, you just got these 220 heart rates, and you're
I mean, a 220 heart rate, you should be in hospital. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just getting crushed, and you're trying to go online, and you're trying to see, you're going, I need to get some information to try and just direct myself out of this. And you're on these vax injured profiles, and there's just real people putting up their suicide notes. There's just, young girls that are completely blind and in a wheelchair who were photographers, you know?
So their career is gone.
Yeah. And you just see more and more and more, and you're trying to help, but then no one understands you as well because they can't relate. And I don't blame them because they can't relate. They're not experiencing the thing. It's really
Yeah.
difficult, and I put a lot of pressure on my mum and my dad, and
Did they take it?
they did, yeah. They
And they
didn't.
were fine?
Well, yeah, like, and hopefully still. And dad never wanted to take it. Dad was very like, this is bull dust. And
Did you have anyone in your corner who believed you?
yeah, well, my mum believed me when I got up there, and
She saw you.
she saw me. My dad believed me, and my brothers knew something was up as well. I was very fortunate because there's people that didn't have that,
Yeah.
and I'm very fortunate. I've got a great family, and well, and I'm trying to work. I'm trying to work out what to do, and you get on these calls, and people are just talking about what they're experiencing, but I'm like, I need to get somewhere to direct myself out. And then I start going into this really like possessed operating mode where it's like I'm running this thing like a military campaign to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I become
So something in you had decided to live.
yeah.
What was that moment when you decided to live? Did you keep the rope? Did you throw it out? Well, what was the point where you thought, nah, I'm going to live?
There
Or
was
try?
this I got in touch with this doctor who was from the United States who I met at the wedding in Brazil.
Okay.
Yep, Nick. And he's a hell of a good man. And he sent me ivermectin, and I ran the FLCCC protocol, the frontline COVID critical care protocol.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get, vitamin K2.
Can I
Vitamin
ask,
D3.
how did he get it to you? Because then, like,
Yeah,
the government, even though it helps, the government is trying to make sure you don't get it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how did he get it to you?
Well, he got it to me like in melatonin capsules.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
basically smuggling in one of the best medical sort of
Yeah,
inventions
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
And I managed within 2 weeks of doing that, boom, first night of sleep. I was a
Wow.
quick responder, and I was so lucky. And
What was that like to have because see, the thing is, you're feeling suicidal, but if you're not sleeping, it's hard to think straight.
exactly.
So even just having a good night's sleep could put you back
Yeah.
on a critical, okay, I'm balanced now. I can
Yeah.
think
At least
straight.
I can get this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was that like, nothing was long term. Everything was very, okay, what's my incremental move in this direction?
Yeah.
And how can I move that needle? And I was like, boom, get that. All right. And then I'm getting through and I'm reading, oh yeah, run the protocol for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, I've got 4 weeks. So then I get hold of some cattle ivermectin and basically start backlining myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Working out the dose.
Wow.
Yeah, on that because we're both, obviously mammals.
Yeah.
So I managed to get hold of like a dropper of that, and whether it was, I don't know, it could have just been some coconut oil, and I'm running a placebo. But
so the ivermectin was the core of
yeah, it was
getting
just
better.
yeah, and
The ivermectin that the government banned and said was horse
yeah,
paste and
Yep.
horses and this.
yeah, correct,
Yeah.
That was like the center point.
Yeah.
For that.
This incredibly cheap
Yeah,
medication
yeah,
that won a Nobel Prize for
Yeah.
being so safe, safer
Yeah.
than Panadol, banned in our country
correct.
because, to be honest, if they had an alternative to the vaccine, Big Pharma would not be allowed to roll out the vaccine.
Exactly.
So they had to ban it, like the hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah,
that they burnt.
hydroxychloroquine. Yeah.
So all these things. So you're not only injured, and I've seen the way the government treats the injured. I mean, previous to the injuries coming in, anti-vaxxers became the lowest rung. If you didn't take it, you were the lowest rung of society. But then the injured went below us. I think that's why the injured and the anti-vaxxers get on, because you're below us, because the government just like ignores you.
Yeah,
You know, it's just like, get out of here, go away.
that's right.
You're an anti-vaxxer simply by getting sick by the vaccine. How dare you, you heretic? And
Yeah,
so here you are, basically going underground
yeah.
to save yourself.
Well, that's right. I had to run a rogue operation essentially,
With
and
one goal is to get yourself better.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And you know, I managed then off of that protocol. This is about July, August, September. I get well enough to function a bit, and I get a job at a resort as a handyman.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, okay, I got I've got a routine now. Even though I get so fatigued, I just collapse like
Yes.
after work. But I've got a little central base. I got this job. I can pull money in, and then through my coaching network, someone put me in touch with an Aussie who fled Australia, sold his gym and everything, and practiced in Australia from Melbourne, and he lived in Montenegro. And he goes, get in touch with this guy. He does a lot of stuff around the gut microbiome and, peptide protocols and things. And I'm going, okay, I don't know the correlation, like how this is going to help. So I get in touch with him and I start talking with him. And I got enough know-how through my own sort of training and stuff that I understand what this guy's angle is.
Yeah.
So I end up doing all like the blood work and the microbiome samples and stuff. And I start slowly from December 2022 building out my immune system and healing my stomach, and then rebuilding my tissues with peptide protocols and things like that from a functional medicine perspective. Yeah.
So you took responsibility for your own health.
Yeah, 100%.
Realizing the medical system is in so much denial
Yeah.
that they just don't want to look.
Yeah.
Because it opens a Pandora's box for them.
Exactly.
So you're totally on your own.
Yeah, I'm totally on my own. And I just kept seeing other people. Like I've gone to people and get gaslit. I went to the cardiologist. He gaslit me, and I just decided I'm going to have to get myself
What did the
out.
cardiologist say?
He said, on the report, he says, Reiley has said that he had an infection early 2020 in Brazil at a friend's wedding, and he has taken one shot of Novavax, but has experienced symptoms since the infection from 2020.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
See,
so
crossed over.
long COVID.
Protects himself.
Yeah, long
Those
COVID.
Brazilian bugs.
Yeah, they'll do it to you.
Yeah. You think barley bug is bad? Go
Yeah,
to Brazil, man.
you go to Brazil, man.
So you're getting yourself better. But I just want to go back a minute because you had a life-changing moment when you got sick.
Yeah.
You know, and then you had a life-changing moment. You've already decided to leave us, but something in you at some point must have made a decision to go, no, I'm not leaving.
Well, that cropped up many of times though. That conversation wasn't like one.
Back.
Yeah, it wasn't like one catalyst. Like it was this constant back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my
like a soul debate in you. You've got one person saying, "Come on, let's get out of here."
Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah, and then another, other things like look, you're getting well. Like you're getting well. Everyone else who's trying the medical stuff, they're not getting well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the way that I pursued is better than other ways. There's many ways to summit the mountain.
Yeah.
Like whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Keep improving. Keep getting those results.
So then the side that wanted to live finally overcame.
Correct.
The side that wanted to leave.
100%.
Wow, that's a testament to your strength, man.
Thanks.
It seriously is, because you're on your own doing that, and you've got to make the decision. I mean, this is to be or not to be. This is Shakespearean stuff.
Yeah, it was. And and just trying to talk to people out of suicide and.
So you're online trying to talk other vaccinated people from not doing it.
And well, exactly.
And you're fighting the same demon.
Yeah, I'm exactly.
And the whole state, our whole health department is just ignoring you.
Yeah.
You're discarded.
It was insane. Just the amount, like the actual psychological isolation, even though people on your side trying to help, they're not understanding you.
Yeah.
like just not being comprehended or understood. And
The other thing too, you got to
it's-
realize with them though, it's in them,
yeah,
and they're looking at you going, "Is this going to happen to me?
yeah. Well,
If I talk about it, will I set
yeah,
it off?"
yeah,
You know, these are things going through their head. You know.
yeah. It's just like, I know I'm jumping all over the place,
No, no, you're
boys,
not.
but it was you just that. It was just so intense. In you're seeing a different reality
Yeah.
completely, and you're you're trying to be your own doctor, researcher,
Yeah. Amazing.
psych, but
Psychologists.
yeah, just trying to work out all this stuff. And
And then you're a carer for other people in the same boat who like the blind girls,
yeah,
you know?
I got to say, I had to start distancing myself from those
Yeah.
communities, and I'm only friends with certain people because I know, look, it's going to be beneficial for me for my healing to operate here,
Yeah.
right? Like, people, we all get stuck. I'm no better. Like, I'm completely human. I'm completely fallible. You can get stuck in these victimhood mindsets, and you become the victim of your own doing
Yeah.
through the way you think. And yeah, I had to start getting off of those um,
At some
platforms.
point, did you have to forgive yourself? Or have you
Yeah,
managed to do that, or was that something you had to do?
it's been 3 years since, like, 3 and a bit years, and I'm starting now, like, to really give myself a break.
Yeah.
And
Well, from my point of view, um, what you say makes sense. You're obviously not a guy that can sit home and be looked after by a woman who's already had a stroke.
yeah,
How you going to look at yourself? How you going to
yeah,
look yourself in the mirror? And you've got these other obligations, and you've got this rogue government who doesn't care.
mm,
Take that or get out of society. You know, there's
yeah,
huge pressure on you.
yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like,
And all the propaganda constantly deadly, do it for your country, do it for this, all this. You're up against $1 trillion or a multi-billion dollar
mm,
propaganda machine,
mm,
you know? Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like, I just think, if you're at this point in time, just to speak to that point, like, if you're at this point in time and you haven't even questioned your paradigm, I haven't
Yeah.
questioned anything that's been put out, at
Yeah.
least, like, you don't need to have a whole paradigm shifting moment. You
Yeah.
just need to start thinking about these other things that, am I thinking this for myself, or am I getting influenced to think this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the crazy thing about, high IQ people, they don't actually utilize their IQ to find the truth. They just make a better fortress to stop ideas coming in.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know,
Yeah. Great
just
point.
they utilize those sort of cognitive
Yeah.
abilities
Almost
to,
like building themselves an ivory tower, an
so
intellectual ivory tower.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, and then just get to play ping pong with other people that think that way,
Yeah.
but don't stress test their ideas.
Yeah.
And
This
it
could, that's a great analogy of what we could actually be seeing because there's no debate.
that's right.
You can't, you're either, you believe us or you're an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
You believe us or you're Islamophobe. You believe us or you're anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
You're just racist. But there's no actual healthy debate where
Well,
we,
not even a debate, like just creating a conversation.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like, oh, look, I'm just getting this perspective. I don't know whether it's entirely accurate. I think
yeah,
you might be able to contribute something. I think as well, like, maybe we could help each other out on our pitfalls.
yeah.
You're not even allowed to do that
And
now.
there's no questioning of vaccines. Vaccines have sort of become a religion.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to question them. You're a heretic.
Well, people are out there taking it. I saw guys like, you know, at getting back into trade. Got back into trade. What was so funny is, like, I got back to Perth, and there was one position at the company that I lost my job at for an electrician, and I ended up getting back into trade. And everyone's like, mate, where have you been? Right. I'm like, dude, I've had this.
I've been on an odyssey.
Yeah, I've had this insane run. I'm still on it, and
Can I ask? This is a really important question. How have you changed internally yourself, not physically but spiritually, internally, your outlook on life from before you took it to the person sitting in front of me now?
I definitely think I definitely know there's something beyond what we can even fathom.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it
like
becomes more spiritual.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. You
There's
know,
no atheists in foxholes. An
yeah,
Irish cousin told me.
yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so applicable.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I've there's a lot of good that's come out of this.
yeah.
Yeah, there's so much good. There's a callousing of the mind as well that I thought I was always, when I was super physical, I always thought, and you hear these stories and it sounds a bit cliche, but oh, if I become more physically stronger, I'm going to be, more callous and da da da. But then you go through completely eroding your physical capabilities, your identity around being
Mm,
someone who is physically capable, and the very extrovert type of guy engaging in the party with people,
mm,
to someone who's kind of now having to go hermit mode and run their own operation, run their own psyop on themselves to get better.
mm.
And you start having this different perspective, and you really have that time now to question what else is out there. And I believe, for me anyway, there is something else out there that is keeping things together. And you know you life's not a ride, it's more of a drive.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, you gotta drive. You're not there just to sit in the passenger seat.
yeah.
Things will happen, like, and you get to choose how you respond to those
Well,
things that
that's the
happen.
independent streak in you. So a lot of people want to be passengers.
Yeah,
Let's be
yeah, I
honest.
suppose. Yeah,
Where you're actually someone who wants to drive, and maybe one of the reasons you got well is you gave up on the medical industry and decided to go out and find the cure for yourself.
well, that's it. Yeah, and I'm super fortunate that the ivermectin work. Like, people who respond well to
Mm.
ivermectin tend to also have a better rate of repair. Like, even that, is that not a divine intervention? Is that, are all these not a stack of
Yeah,
interventions?
yeah.
I don't know.
How are you feeling now physically?
Right now I'm doing much better.
What would you say? Because I haven't met anyone who's got back to 100%. They say I'm doing a lot better.
Yeah,
So it was like zero was like I'm in the bed, I've got a
yeah.
rope in my car, I'm ready to leave. 100% is I can't even remember feeling sick. Where would you be?
I would say I'm around like the 90, but very,
Okay, you're getting close.
yeah. And reason being, I'm starting. I've had some heart checks and my heart's all well. I've started doing some physical activity in very low capacities,
Yeah.
but it was also, I've started studying functional neurology as well, and learning how the nervous system responds and inflames the um, immune system.
Mm.
So I'm learning to taper down the neurological responses, like the symptom, the fault codes that keep
Mm.
flipping up. And I went on a trip to Germany, like, with my new girlfriend, this
Cool.
German girl I met, Clara. She's lovely, and I met her family, and it was the first time I've not eaten anything that's on the sort of getting better regime
Okay.
food protocol.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I got back from that, had my bloods done, and yeah, my functional med prac, he goes, look, that must have done you some favors, because you're getting all your markers on your organs are now looking all
Fantastic.
clear. So I'm working back as a tradesman in full capacity, and
Yeah.
I still got a bit to get back.
So you're not ready, healthy enough yet to go back into the physical training yet?
I'm doing not to the capacity that I once was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm slowly getting back where I'm just doing a lot of body weight
Yeah, yeah.
stuff and that type of thing. And yeah, I don't know. I'm one of the
I got
lucky ones.
two questions to go. What is your thoughts on the government and the whole thing that they rolled out? Do you think there should be a royal commission or something to really investigate what happened? And or do you just think you got unlucky with
No,
vaccines?
I think I 100% know there should be, there is absolute foul play,
Yeah.
and it needs to be investigated. to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know, I'm just myself, but there's people with dependents, like families, kids,
Yeah.
and there I've met people online. There's families I've spoken to that they're all injured. They're all injured, and it's off either the same batch or different batches.
Yeah.
And there needs to be an investigation.
Yeah. We have come across that too. The other thing, I mean, it's fantastic that you're getting better, but every now and on the internet, every day we see died suddenly, died suddenly, died.
Yeah.
Do you live with this? And I don't mean to upset you by this,
No.
but do you live with this, that suddenly something could happen?
Yeah, that's at the back of my mind. You
And
know,
how do you cope with that? You just have to put it behind you, or?
well, I do my best for my sort of strategy. Basically, is I do my best to kind of gear. Look, I'm not dead yet,
Yeah.
and I'm going to keep living. Life's for living.
Yeah.
So I got to do that.
Did you get rid of that rope?
Yeah. So it's gone.
That's great.
Yeah, you know, and I thought I'd never be able to get out of, like, I'll just be housebound forever and dependent on my parents. And
Yeah.
now, yeah,
Which would not have suited your nature.
yeah, yeah. But I'm so lucky.
So you're a true warrior, man.
I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, you're a true
Yeah.
warrior. Come back. Can I ask, as you're going forward now, you said you've been helping people online, telling them to go there. It seems to me you have a lot to offer now. Do you think you will go that route in helping other people? Because you're one of the best stories I've heard of vaccine injuries.
Thanks.
So many others are just losing it, or they it's got too much for them. But here you are as testament that you've pushed through.
Absolutely. I'm putting stuff out online that's helped me. I haven't
Yeah.
been as active as of late because of, social media storm
Yeah.
is not the best platform to be on. Sometimes it gets annoying, but
Yeah.
for sure, absolutely. I want to try, and if I can help anyone just in any capacity, or if you take something away from what I've done and it helps you, then you find something else that helps you, then I've done my bit. Because yeah, no one deserves to suffer, man. Like, yeah, it's just wild, and yeah, it's one hell of a journey. So I hope I can help in some way.
Is there anything else you'd like to get off your chest while we're here?
Look, I don't know. I've really enjoyed this interview, and I really enjoy like the work that you've done as
Thank
well. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to wish you the best, brother.
Thank you so much.
I want to wish you the best.
Yeah.
I truly do. I'll give you a hug after this. I think that's incredible. I think it was a beautiful interview, man. Give us a hug.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Seriously, man. Seriously.
Yeah.